Hi everyone, this is Shalan Sukul here. Today I'll talk about Angular elements and web components and showcase my little POC that displays how to write an Angular element, package it up, and then use it inside a SharePoint framework client web part. So first of all, what are web components? Basically, web components are just a set of web platform APIs that allow you to create custom reusable HTML tags that you can use in pages and web apps. They're basically components or widgets used in a very similar style to a CMS system like SharePoint, where you can define it using these four specifications. The first is that they are custom elements and they have their own specification. They use the shadow DOM. HTML imports are not that important, so we'll skip that. And then they use an HTML template. Now, it's not a trivial task to write a web component. Angular elements, actually, on the other hand, is Angular's attempt to write web components using the Angular framework or Angular components. So basically, Angular elements are custom elements that can be built in Angular, but once compiled can be embedded into any web application. You don't even require Angular. So let's see how to go ahead and implement that. Here's an example project for Angular elements. As you can see, there's an element here called a like button. That's basically a normal component. It's got attribute markers for input and output, basically the number of likes and the number of liked events. And it's got a very basic template for showing the like button using the I think it's the Google Materials template, the CSS and styling. And then in main.ts, what it does is it takes every component in this Angular application and registers them using custom elements using some glue. Now, this is experimental code. It was announced at the Mix conference, and eventually, once the pull request succeeds, this will become much easier to use. Here's the code for the SharePoint Client Framework. Very simple. I've used the human generator to create this project. It doesn't use any JavaScript framework, but as you can see, it's got the main entry point here. And what I've done is I've built a couple of methods, one for loading the web component or Angular element scripts from the built Angular project here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then adding the web component from my Angular elements project into this SharePoint Client Framework. Now, time to run this and see how it works. So we'll go into the Angular elements project and I will serve the content. Once it's up and running, you'll see that it's broadcasting on port 4200. So if we hit that, you'll see that come through as soon as it's finished building. Here it comes. So there you go, the inline bundles. Those 4 scripts that we referenced are now available. Now, let's switch over to the SharePoint Client Framework project and run that. Now remember, the SharePoint Client Framework has no idea about Angular. All it's doing is referencing those four built packages from the Angular elements project, 5 packages, right? Now, let's go back to the client, the workbench, right? And try and add the same web part. Boom. It's a fully functional web part that now works. Now we can go back and add another one of these. So 2 of them. So break in the middle. Save that. fire off another build. There you go. It comes in. There you go. Two of them, both independent of each other. So there you go. We've got Angular elements. So basically being able to build a single Angular app using the Cloud Productivity Framework. We can do whatever we like, and then we can take those components and embed them into the SharePoint Client Framework. We can also, with the same project, 0% code rewrite, we can use that as a standalone website. And we can also now do the same thing with the SharePoint add-in model and use the same Angular components in SharePoint add-ins. And we can also do Cordova and write phone apps using the same code. 0% code rewrite being surfaced through many different frameworks. Hope you've enjoyed that. More to come later. Thank you.